Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to CVUUS, Champlain Valley Unitarian Universalist Society. On this last Sunday of December, the last Sunday of the year 2024. Turns out that the bleak midwinter is more of a damp chill than a hoary blast. Red and I were invited yesterday to a skating party earlier in the week. We were invited earlier in the week for a skating party yesterday, which of course was postponed till hopefully later in the winter. So here we are today on this kind of dreary but winter day. I'm Karl Lindholm. I'm the worship associate for today's service, a member of the congregation and the worship team. And I will be assisting today Liam Battjes, who is our service leader. And Liam is a member of the congregation, and the worship team as well. And he has put together a very creative service for us. For many years, we didn't have a service after the Christmas Eve service. We gave the minister a little time off. And in recent years, we've been doing things that are a little bit special, more meditative and thoughtful. Often, Christmas falls on Saturday or Friday. It seems a little redundant to have another service. But today this year it fell right in the middle of the week. And Liam has had this thoughtful service in mind for a long time. And so we're grateful for Liam's, both his creative impulse and his willingness to take this task on today. It would be a good time for you to turn off your phone or put it in, as Becky likes to say, worship mode. If you have a yellow card, a milestone or passage that you'd like to share, do put it in the offering basket when the offering comes around. Everybody, let's join one another and at the end of the service for refreshments and conversation downstairs in the Ann Ross Fellowship Hall. So welcome to Sunday. This service today will be going through the days of the week and will reflect 7 mindfulness practices from Liam Battjes that are inspired by the etymology of the names of each day. Maybe if we link our mindfulness practices to the names of each day, then each day can invite us to be present to life in different ways. Savor the sun of Sunday. We begin with the rising of Sunday. Notice the change in light from quiet gray to the first hints of color, catching clouds, stirring through branches, and raising our faces to its warm smile. Where does Brother Sun first appear this time of year? How many hours will we enjoy his presence? How does his light bring everything else to light? Our gathering carol is Come All You Neighbors, an alternate version of the familiar carol.
Will you rise if you're able?
The night.
Now I'm going to ask Liam to help me with and light the chalice while we repeat these words that are emblematic of Unitarian Universalism. They're on the screen. We light this chalice, mindful that at the center of our solar system, Brother Sun is burning with a light that sustains the diversity of life on this planet. May we gather around this light of love, knowing that it sustains.
We have 7 poems, 7 carols, and 7 readers, and one isn't here. So, starting here, what do you want to remember? How sunlight creeps along a shiny floor? What scent of old wood hovers? What softened sound from outside fills the air? Will you ever bring a better gift for the world than the breathing respect that you carry wherever you go right now? Are you waiting for a time to show you some better thoughts? When you turn around, starting here, lift this new glimpse that you found. Carry into evening all that you want from this day, this interval you spent reading or hearing this. Keep it for life. What can anyone give you greater than now? Starting here, right in this room. When you turn around. Sunday is an invitation to notice the light of each day. When it's born on the horizon, how it changes and fills the room, how it brings life to you, to me, brings us color. Sunday, savor it. And then realize that Moon Day is coming. Moon Day. This is another reader now. So now Moon is over here. Be mindful of Grandmother's Moon Day. When we awaken to Moon Day, we can ask Grandmother what season is waxing and waning. Are we anticipating the arrival of strawberries or grateful for the harvest of corn? Has the frosty, icing moon moved us indoors to spend long nights listening to the stories of the elders? The moon tells us what is changing in the natural world and how the traditional people of this place would change with it. Moon Day. By acknowledging that we live on the land of the Western Abenaki, we can pay attention to the moons and think, what did the traditional people of this land do during this season? And what is the moon inviting us to pay attention to? I've been reading this past year a book by Joseph Bruchac, a leader of the Abenaki and an author. His book, A Year of Moons. And so he describes the greeting moon, in this way. It's January here in our Adirondack foothills, the time of Alamikos, the Abenaki term for the first moon of the year. In English, it's the New Year's greeting moon. It's the time when people would go from one wigwam to another, nowadays one home to another, and speak the New Year's greeting Anahaldam, Maui, Kasipali, Lawalan. Translated in English, this means, forgive me for any wrong I may have done to you. This greeting is a recognition of the fact that there is always more than one way to look at a situation, any human interaction, because it would be said not just to the people you know you've wronged, but to everyone. Everyone. Think of the times when your own feelings were injured by a word or a deed from someone who was totally oblivious to the fact that they'd wounded you. It happens more often than we realize. We're in a hurry and we brush someone off. We make a remark offhandedly to say something that we may think is humorous, but it actually cuts someone to the quick. Forgive me for any wrong I may have done you, even if I didn't intend to do it. Think about it. Think of what it means to start a new year this way. What it means to make that sincere attempt to make amends and be assured that others in your community, through that simple statement, that simple greeting, that caring visit, they also want to begin anew. So this is the greeting moon. It's a good time to stand up and greet each other. And as you greet each other, you may want to say, "Forgive me for any harm that I may have done to you." This greeting time will end when you hear the music start. Go. Somewhere between moonlight and the bright morning star, we rest in the darkness and know that we are born of the sacred and connected to earth, sleeping in mangers since the day of our birth. Somewhere between moonlight and the dawning of day, we move through the darkness and search for the way of love and of laughter, of justice and joy, to cradle the hopes of each girl and each boy. Somewhere between moonlight and the rush of sunrise, we set our intentions and open our eyes to those who surround us with questions and fears, and then we answer that love has come near.
Yes, this is a service that is well thought out, but not highly rehearsed. Fair enough, Liam? Yes. Time for two on Tuesday. Two for Tuesday, to strengthen body and mind. 2 Foot Tuesday calls us to do two things: to build up our strength and prepare for challenges ahead. Tire Day, or Mars Day, was named after a god of war who expects us to train our bodies and our brain with strong habits. So let's be intentional about 2 healthy practices that would be good to care for our bodies, sharpen our minds, and feed our spirits, help us fight for a better world. For our Time for All Ages, we are focusing on 2 healthy practices: eating your vegetables and taking daily walks. Brett Millier will read a poem about mindfully appreciating vegetables, and Liam has a song about taking his dog for a mindful walk.
I'm pleased to read this poem by Sarah Wolfson, daughter of Rich and Artley Wolfson, she grew up in this congregation, and I had the pleasure of advising a thesis last year who wrote about Sarah Wolfson. So it's wonderful. Sarah's poem is titled, What I Like About Beans. That sure way, after they unfurl from their tiny selves, the plants retain a flap of former life, the seed relics sliding down the stalk, lower and lower, a set of not quite wings and not quite leaves. How even after the now brown casing has dropped to earth as compost, the bean itself remains as 2 naked curls of cellulose, a little shriveled, a lot misshapen, but still, for all the world, a set of small animated hands about to clap for all the green that outstrips them.
Every day I have this privilege of Mike saying, when he's tired of hearing me talk, how about a poem? And we have a poem at the breakfast table or to end the day. And we were reading a collection from James Cruz, and in that anthology came Sarah Wolfson. I'm like, Sarah Wolfson, hey, we know Wolfson. And it was just a beautiful reminder of our interconnectedness, and also to be mindful to the little things, even the little beans. And now the other thing that I do is carols, rewriting the carols. Why? Well, because I don't like singing things I don't believe in or don't do. And one thing I don't do is ride in a 1-horse open sleigh. But I do go for a jingling walk with my dog every day. So here we go. This is, you can stand if you're able. We're going to go for a nice walk with our dog on jingle leads. Here we go. Jingle lead, walking with my dog. Over bumpy sidewalks, past the neighbors' lawns. Jingle lead, walking with my dog. Over bumpy sidewalks, past the neighbor's lawn. Stopping by a tree to sniff and sniff and sniff. And though I want to go, his rear leg still he lifts. I wait with calming breath for all the time he needs. But then he sees a cat ahead and darts off at good speed. Oh, jingle lead, running with my dog. Over faster sidewalks, past the neighbor's lawn. Jingle lead, running with my dog. Over bumpy sidewalks, past the neighbor's lawn. But then, whoop, that's gone. He sniffs and sniffs a lot. He bends into a yoga pose and leaves behind a plop. With the bag and picking up his deed. Another dog comes round the bend and he runs off at good speed. Oh, jingle lead, running with my dog. Over bumpy sidewalk, past the neighbor's lawns. Jingle lead, panting with my dog. over bumpy sidewalks, past the neighbor's lawn. Oh, that was 2 for Tuesday, vegetables and a good walk. Wednesday, Wild Messages Day, Wilderness Day. Receive the wild messages of Wildness Day. What wild messages will you receive today? From the wilderness of wings, water, weather, and whatever our wandering eyes might notice. Mercury, the namesake of Miércoles, often talks to us about our changing world through the thermometer. As we read other letters of nature, we get messages from geese on the water, paw prints in the snow, or leaves on a tree about the complexity of life. One of my favorite poems about listening to the wildness is The Peace of Wild Things by Wendell Berry. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake at the least sound for fear of what my life or the lives of my children may be, I go and I lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still waters, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light to shine. And for a time, I rest in the grace of this world, and I'm free. The Peace of Wild Things by Wendell Berry.
The pathways to connection are the ways that we bind together as a community and events and activities outside the Sunday services. And there are just a couple that I would remind us of today. Next Saturday at 3 p.m. right here is the second annual 12th night concert by the Borderlands Woodwind Quintet. January 4th, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, right here. They will be playing some seasonal favorites, some classics from the Woodwind Quintet repertory, and some new arrangements. The quintet includes CVUUS member Richard Hopkins on bassoon next Saturday. From 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. on January 1st to January 4th, ending at 12 p.m. on Saturday the 4th, the Breadloaf Mountain Zen community will be holding their annual silence retreat in the fellowship hall. We ask for your cooperation in giving them silence during that time. Now, Poppy, we're having a Poppy party. Poppy Reese, our wonderful, caring director of religious exploration, is moving to a full-time teaching position and leaving Sunday, January 5th. Please join Jet Pig in whispering messages of best wishes into her ear at the Poppy Party in the Fellowship Hall after worship next Sunday. Now, we have lots of cards here at CVUS. We have yellow cards for sharing a joy or concern, a milestone or passage that I will read if I receive any in the offering basket. Pink cards if you'd like to be in touch with the Caring Network. If you need help because of an illness or an injury, a loss, we can help. So the pink cards. And then today, we have green cards. You received a green card on the way in. This is a part of today's service. And as you can see at the top of the green card, it says, fill this card out before or during the offertory and be ready to give it to another person. As you receive a message from them, and we sing, from you I receive, to you I give, which we do after the offering is received. The card says, when I go outside and listen to the blank, think animals, clouds, trees, snow, ice, dormant plants, birds, squirrels, whatever you feel. And after you do that, you write, I feel as if I am given this message. And we invite you to share it with another person when we sing our Sunday song after the offering is received. So let's do that. Let's receive today's offering. Our donee for the month of December is the Charter House Coalition, and we know what remarkable work the Charter House does in this community.
Now you are going to be, hold on a second, you're going to be actually giving and receiving during this time, and not just eye contact. And you can do this endlessly. So from you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. Go. From you I receive, to you I give. take a moment to receive your message. Take a moment to receive your message. If you didn't get a slip, then you can fill one out and exchange it with somebody at coffee hour. When I go outside and listen to the wind and the movement and the changes, I feel as if I'm given this message, a message of transformation, of hope, trust, energy, beauty, even miracles, when I listen to the wind. Does someone else want to share the message that they had?
When I go outside and listen to the silence of winter, I feel as if I'm given this message: calm and peace.
Thank you. Time for one more, if you want to read it. Thank you, Susie.
When I go outside and listen to the trees and big rocks, I feel as if I'm given this message: climb me, I won't let you fall.
Yes, I did. Richard, can you go back to the slides that Karl sent of he goes out and he listens to the messages of the clouds, and I put them in a place that he didn't expect. There, well, one before that. He's got a beautiful quotation from Henry David Thoreau. There you go, Karl.
Yes, Liam instructed me that I would be reading my green card. And when I go outside, I listen to the sounds of morning. Morning as in the time of day. No play on words. And Brett will smile because almost every day after the dogs walk, I take the dog out for a breakfast sandwich and a cup of coffee at Maple Fields, and we spend an hour sitting in the car. But on those days, I stop. I am almost always provoked to stop and look at the mountains to the east. I come in from Cornwall, and about a half mile from the college golf course, if you're going south, there's a straightaway. And it would be not inappropriate to put a scenic vista ahead there, because you can really look out all over past the fields. You see a little bit of civilization out there on South Street Extension past the hospital, and then you see more trees, and then you see the mountains, and it's a great vista for looking at the sky. So I like most every day the sky is saying something interesting or showing something quite varied and interesting. And it reminds me too, so the message, I'm given quite a varied message from that. Life is beautiful. I look at the mountains and I see permanence, but I hear the cars going by me fast, and I realize that life is transitory and complex as well. And this is a picture I took. Actually, this is the picture looking west, but at the end of the day. But I like you'll see in a minute, I like the way the clouds look at the end of the day. And I'm always reminded of this quotation by Thoreau: "Time is but the stream I go a-fishing in. I would drink deeper," and then fish here is a verb. I would fish in the sky, whose bottom is pebbly with stars. So what these two slides do, this one is from my sister. My sister was a photographer. Before she died, she became increasingly interested in abstract photography. And what I noticed she was doing a lot, and what these clouds, the cloud in the previous sky, is it blurs the elements, the air and the earth and the water, if you will. And we realized, I don't know what firmament means. I think it means the sky. But I realized that all of the elements combine to create a life. here. I'm not much more articulate than that. So I look out at the sky and I see kind of a wholeness and complexity at the same time. So thanks for doing this. I have one yellow card. From the Spanheimers. We are excited to have our friends visiting from Ames, Iowa. The Poole family are members at the UU Fellowship of Ames. Welcome. Thanks for coming. Now, Thor's Day. Thor's Day, we think about these conflicted feelings perhaps that I expressed a little bit, about a year or a day. How can we listen to those feelings in a helpful way? Thor's Day of joys and concern. Hammer out emotions on Thor's Day. Thor's Day may thunder with a hammer or quietly float along with the clouds of our ancestors. Consider the weather today, the highs and lows, the blue sky of happiness, of the pressure systems of stress. When we sit with a sunny emotion on the right and stormy feelings on the left, can we pause to ask the clouds, what would be the best way to listen to these feelings? Can thunderous feelings be used as hammers of construction? Now, Andrea Sambler will read a meditation.
And if it's true we are alone, we are alone together. The way blades of grass are alone, but exist as a field. Sometimes I feel it, the green fuse that ignites us, the wild thrum that unites us, an inner hum that reminds us in our shared humanity. Just as 35 trillion red blood cells join in one body to become one blood, just as 136,000 notes make up one symphony. Alone as we are, our small voices weave into one big conversation. Our actions are essential to the one infinite story of what it is to be alive. When we feel alone, we belong to the grand communion of those who sometimes feel alone. We are the dust that hopes, a rising of dust, a thrill of dust, the dust that dances in the light with all other dust, the dust that makes the world.
So Thor's Day is a time to sit with conflicted emotions, alone, together, conflicted, and yet when you sit with it, some beautiful poetry about how we are connected. I'm going to invite you to keep in that meditative space and to sing with me, "O Lonely Night." You haven't been rehearsed. You are not all Francois Clemens. Just sing it softly. It's okay. Imagine yourself alone at night, looking at the stars, and feeling both alone and deeply connected. Two diverse feelings. Sing with me, "O Lonely Night." Stay seated. O lonely night, stars above me shining from galaxies beyond my reach of time. The Milky Way's cloudy path reminds me that life on earth is a fragile gift divine. I breathe the air of balsam fir and forest, release the stress of tech-consuming lives. Here in the snow, I feel the grace of winter, this solstice of night, with starlight for the soul. Oh, solstice of night, with starlight for the soul. Sharing the night with quiet friends around me, the bard I'll chance to remind me who is here. This native soil, possessed, plowed, and parceled, is still the home of the bear, fox, and deer. I breathe the air of western Abenaki. I'm made aware we're passengers of time. White frosted hills still hold the hope of winter, that spring will bring life with justice and with joy. Oh, breathe in new life with justice and with joy.
A reading for Friends Day. Thank Frigga, it's Friends Day. Frigga Day is for all we love. So think about everything this week that was friggin' cool. That's Liam's line. I wish it were mine. I'm reminded, excuse me, Liam, I first read that frig was used as a substitute for another F word in literature when the censors wouldn't allow that to be written, by John Steinbeck. I'm going to look that up. Don't take that. Don't be repeating that. But that was his device. So when I saw that I was going to have to do Frigga Day, I thought, I don't know, Liam. So Liam, in his creative genius, incorporated that. So I'm going to start over. Frigga Day is for all that we love. So think about this week, all that was friggin' cool, exciting, life-giving, or lovely. Think about all the friends, think about the friends, family, flora, and fauna who showed us love and laughter. And then end the week by helping them to feel loved. Connect with them by doing something that is good for them, for you, and for all of our relations on earth. Frigga is the Nordic goddess of love, the twin of Venus, the Roman goddess of love, whose name shapes the French and Spanish name for Friday, Vendredi, or Vernes. So prepare for Frigga Day. Here is an all-embracing love poem titled Only Love by James Cruz from his collection, The Path of Kindness. And so I imagine the entire earth as one beating heart, held in the space of this universe, inside a larger body we can't fathom, filling with enough love to each of us out of the cave of our personal pain and into the light. Enough love to lead all humans as one out of a collective fear, rage, and hate into a place of peace that is found only within our own hearts, beating in sync with the pulse of this planet we were born to inhabit, despite the daily storms which overtake us and make us forget we are the lifeblood pumped into these veins, every particle of love we generate running into rivers, lakes, and creeks, evaporating into the air we breathe. Give back and breathe again.
Thank you, Karl. He compared me to John Steinbeck. That was friggin' cool. Okay. I wrote about the days of the week and related them to mindfulness because I needed it. I needed the nudge to breathe in that air of a loving world and give back and breathe again. I needed to practice being mindful and present to the students I teach, to the people I work with, to the 3 males I share a home with, Mike, my husband, our foster son, and Flapjack, our dog. I needed reminders to practice daily presence because I often slide into distracted absence. This past year I was distracted by complicated job expectations, tight schedules, troublesome health concerns, and a stress that could flood my brain with the noise of worry and self-criticism and caffeinated distractibility. Okay, be honest. What has distracted you or disoriented you this year? And what has helped you to take a breath? What has helped you to become grounded again? Grounded and in harmony with the natural world and centered in loving relationships. What has helped you? I'm open to ideas. These are the 3 things that have helped me. First, Mike and I take daily photos of things that we see while we're walking the dog. And it helps us to pay attention to the natural world around us. Second, we also read a poem at breakfast or at the end of the day, and that helps ground us in the wisdom of some of our favorite authors. And then I do like dabbling in writing. I don't think I'm John Steinbeck. No, I'm not. But I like dabbling in that. And I dabbled by writing those Christmas carols because it helps me to be mindful of what I'm singing and what tunes I'm carrying in my heart. This year, given my state of being disoriented so often, I took a stab at rewriting We 3 Kings of Orient Are and turned it into these 3 things that orient me. And I came up with these 3. These 3 things orient me: nature, wisdom, and community. And before we sing this last carol, I'm going to get choked up. Okay. I want to thank you, CVUUS, for being a place that orients me, because you savor and guard nature, because You share a kaleidoscope of wisdom every Sunday. And because you try to be a community of love and care. So when I think of the three things that orient me, I have at least 100 faces behind that. Thank you. Will you stand and sing with me? These three things all orient me. You made that sound just absolutely angelic. Thank you. Will you join me in extinguishing the light by pledging to live as a community centered on love? We extinguish this flame, remembering always to keep love at the center. That was Friday. Saturday. Give it a rest. Give it rest this Sat on Earth Day. Saturn is the god of time. So let's take time to give busyness a rest and sit on Earth today. Sit by a window, on a rock, or near a stream. Live the Sabbath dream of claiming freedom to rest. Take 7 to 70 minutes to breathe, notice, draw, or write. Not run past, roll over, or be in constant flight to the next task on an endless to-do list. May we ask, where are we? How do we connect to this good earth? As I said, my husband Mike takes time to connect to this good earth by taking photos almost every day. I'm not going to show you all 365. But I am going to give you a little bit of a year in review and a service in review by gleaning together some of the best photos of 2024, and organizing them according to the days of the week. And as Jennifer plays the prelude, I'm going to ask us to just sit on earth, and think about the days of the year past. Think about the weeks and the seasons. And then think about how we can be mindful and unwrap the daily presence of mindfulness.
Because you're going to be looking at beautiful photos, I'm going to save that prelude for another time and play There's a Star in the East, because I think it will go nicely.
So will you stand one last time and we'll sing each other a Happy New Year.